everyone, Meghan McGrogan here with the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. If you're just tuning in, you are watching our Leveling Up Social Distancing series. So what we are doing is we are interviewing a different chamber member business every day and bringing you some news about them, introducing you to them. So hopefully this helps put a face to the company and also tells you a little bit about them, and especially what they're experiencing right now as we're dealing with this global pandemic. So really important to support our local businesses. So we're so glad that you've joined us today. And my guest today is Justin Miller of Universal Bookkeeper. And Justin, this is probably a really interesting time for you guys because it's also tax season.
That is very true. And, you know, as we were just chatting, the coronavirus epidemic has just added an additional layer of complexity into the already busy season now. However, you know, we are in a good place where the governments have delayed the federal and New York State filing deadlines, so that's helped us out a little bit, but nevertheless, still very busy.
Yeah. So we'll kind of get back into what things look like currently for you in a minute, but tell everybody, you know, about your company, what you guys have to offer, and what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Sure. So we do and specialize in remote bookkeeping, accounting, and tax work. And we've been operating actually in a remote environment since 2015. So this landscape is really nothing that is new to us. And so we utilize a lot of programs and platforms that are all on the internet. So we really have always operated primarily from our laptop and a scanning device. So this is, you know, nothing new to us. And we have clients that are scattered all around New York State, throughout the Northeast, and we do everything from just bookkeeping to payroll to outsourced CFO level services. So we've got several companies that we actually take over the entire back end accounting department and do the entire function for them.
That's awesome, and really so important for the amount of small businesses we have around to have that capability to outsource.
Yes, I think the thing that sets us apart from like your traditional bookkeeper is that we are kind of partnering with you. We want to analyze your financials on a regular basis, and we really make it a point to sit down with every client that we work with at a minimum on a quarterly basis to look at the things that are important to you, make sure the client knows what their financial statements mean to them, tracking goals that either we've established or they've established for themselves, and also to look at tax planning on a quarterly basis, because the worst thing that could happen is you get to the end of the year and you have no clue how much you're going to owe or get in a refund at the end of the year. So looking at that 4 times a year really helps clients and be in a better position at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. And I know us personally, you know, Ryan, my husband, owns a business, McGrogan Design, and he utilizes you and your services. And I've been able to sit in on some of those meetings. And really, you guys do a great job with the planning of everything. And like you said, the last thing you want are surprises. And I'm like, which I know you know about me by now, I don't like surprises at all. Yes. So, you know, making sure that that planning's in place. You guys do a great job with that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A lot of the businesses, you know, they specialize and they do an extremely good job in their industry, but there's an entire back end that needs to be kind of, you know, correlated, from payroll taxes to sales tax to, you know, income taxes, and then all the annual filing requirements, whether they're legal or, you know, financially related. There's a lot that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think, you know, especially having you guys have experience, which is kind of funny. You're the second, or actually maybe even third interview that we've done that has talked about how they started their business remotely. Yeah. And so you really have that all set up. And I'm sure that's really a value add for your clients too, because, you know, you know what it's like to be them right now, operating remotely, you know, really having to switch gears. However, you guys do now have a beautiful office right in Peg Square.
I know.
So when things are back to normal, everybody can come check that out.
Exactly. I know the whole point of the office is really just to bring the team together and allow for us to meet with clients in a little bit more formal setting. But, you know, now with obviously things that are changing, we've moved everything to Zoom and Google Hangouts. Mm-hmm. You know, what you said about starting in a remote environment, we also do have a lot of experience with the different apps or services that work well with us, and we can recommend those to clients because, not only do we use them on a regular basis, but I'm also trying them to see, what is new, what's out there, what's going to be beneficial to clients in the future.
That's great. Anything else you want to talk about as far as what you guys are facing right now? Maybe for your current clients, like, what can everybody expect to navigate through? We're supposed to be closing on tax season, right? But
so that's a great question. And a lot of things are just changing so dramatically. I actually came in over the weekend and I made 14 different videos for personal and business reasons to give tips to clients. And I got in this morning and I looked and things have actually changed on 2 or 3 of the videos since Saturday. So everything's changing really dramatically. And my thought that I would tell individuals and business clients is that take a deep breath, because like I said, everything is changing so fast. And there's a lot of information that's being pushed out at a very rapid pace, either through the news or on social media. And take a deep breath. We got to read and understand the logistics of how some of these grants and funding opportunities work and see how they're going to be most beneficial to you, the business owner, or to you, the consumer. Because like I said, everything's changing so fast and there's a lot to it. So that would be my number one recommendation is pump the brakes a little bit. We've got some time. They just passed this law on Friday, and so now everybody's scrambling to see how they can get the most bang for their buck out of these grants and funding opportunities. So we are digesting the material as fast as we can, and we're going to try to be pushing it out to everybody as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I think that's a really, really good advice, because I think everybody right now is just kind of, scrambling in so many ways, whether it be navigating, what working, like we talked about before we got on the video here, how do you navigate, being at home, you have a family to take care of, and you have to work a full-time job, and your spouse is working a full-time job. And, we're really all in the same boat. And I think that's so important for everybody to remember. And I think pumping the brakes is probably the best thing everybody can do is, just kind of sit back, relax. I mean, everybody's in the same boat with these changes every day. In the beginning, we started with the chamber putting stuff out every day, and then we were like, oh my God, it's not even relevant.
I know, exactly. Great point. And there's going to be a lot more information to come, but I would just say, take everything you see on the news with a grain of salt. And there's always some finer details that really need to be worked out before it's going to be 100% implemented. So,
yeah. And I know you guys need to, like you said, learn to navigate it yourselves before you can really give advice to clients or anybody. So
exactly. Yes, there's a lot to it. And so as fast as I read it, it's as fast as it's going to be changing as well. So, but every word, like I said, you're all in it together. I've been on video calls where, kids are climbing on parents' laps as they're doing calls. And it's just, that's the new norm, man. Yeah. And we all got to get used to it, accept it. And we got to be understanding that maybe some of the projects we've been working on, may not be done at the deadline. They're going to be pushed out, and you know what? That's okay. And the faster that we all, accept it, the faster we're going to kind of let it slide and get past it.
Yep, exactly. So, Justin, before we wrap up, I know it's kind of a tough time to be accepting new clients, but you guys do have a wait list. So tell people whether they are a client or they'd like to be a client. How do they get in touch? What's the process?
Sure. So right now for bookkeeping, accounting clients, like Megan said, we do have a wait list right now. We try to not take on any clients during the tax season. So we try to push everybody off until May timeframe before we get them up and running. But if you're interested in working with us in a remote fashion with your accounting, please just send an email to info@universalbookkeeper.com, or you can go on our website to fill out a short questionnaire to let us know what kind of services you are interested. If you're looking for tax prep, we are still taking tax prep appointments remotely. So what will happen is if you send an email to info@universalbookkeeper.com, our team will flip you over a link where you can upload your tax documents electronically, and then we can turn it around as fast as we can for you.
That's great. Okay, awesome. So 2 great ways to get in touch, whether they need you now or maybe a little bit down the road.
Exactly.
And then just tell us again before we get off your website, and do you guys have a phone number, or is that info form the best way?
Yep, you can find us at www.universalbookkeeper.com, and our office phone number is 315-790-5045.
Perfect. And you guys are also on Facebook and Instagram too, right?
Facebook and Instagram, exactly. We post regularly on there.
Great. So you can follow Justin and Beth and their team a couple different ways, and make sure if you need some services, you get in touch with them. And Justin, thanks so much for joining me today.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me, Megan.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.